Question 825. What was your worst work-related screw-up?
Oh God, what wasn't my worst work-related screw-up?
Oh, that one's easy.
Go on.
When I worked at the feed mill, we used to, so we had grates in the ground, and they were pits for the trucks to dump bulk ingredients in. And so I have a guy outside, and he's communicating with me on a radio, and the driver goes out and tells the guy he's ready, which the guy thinks I'm ready to dump the ingredients. And the ingredients was limestone.
Mm-hmm.
And we because of a lack of, well, it was kind of him, but because of a lack of communication, we dumped 48,000 pounds of limestone into soybean meal.
Oh my God.
And the company lost thousands of dollars that day, and we had to like try to dump all the soybean meal out from underneath the limestone, and we lost like 8,000 pounds of limestone and about 10,000 pounds of soybean meal.
Why did you lose the limestone? The limestone was recoverable.
Yeah, it would have been.
But you have to sort it out, Dave, because when you're making feed, it has to be so much of a certain ingredient, and they go by weight.
Fair enough.
So the weight of the soybean meal is a lot lighter and fluffier, so you have to use more of it than you think compared to the limestone. And if you put too much limestone into because it's little tiny pieces of rock, if you put too much in, it'll kill the chickens, and then you lose like houses worth of chickens.
Eep.
Which each one, by the time they're an adult, is worth about $25 to $30. And then there's like 300,000 in a house. These huge houses. So yeah, you can like literally cost millions of dollars in one day if you do something wrong.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So.
Manda.
Yeah, I got my ass chewed. Wasn't
I
really my fault, but you know.
Just to say, if Manda screws up at work, does the earth not, like, are we fucked?
We all fucking
We're
die.
fucked anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Fact.
it was a paper that I had published once that there was one paragraph that I, forgot to convert the Fahrenheit to Celsius, but I still put Celsius. So, but it was actually in Fahrenheit, and yeah, it was that was fucked up. Not bad. So.
The only thing Banda's really fucked up on is a paper.
Yeah.
I know, that's like a really serious answer. I know everybody else is like, fucked up, and she's so serious.
Jenny says, I blew up a customer's motor in a 1974 BMW 2002. I don't understand that. Maybe in 2002. Cost me $6,000 to build a new one. Was my shop, my pockets.
Mine's somewhat similar, but not really. It's about cars. I used to run a body shop. It was like a ma and pa shop, and like Luke, the owner of it, was usually in the shop doing shit. So I was in charge of like all the ordering of parts and what vehicles we took in and writing up work orders and stuff. So we had 2 identical fucking vehicles in the shop. They were same year, same color, same brand, same, series, whatever. And, but one was in for like this side and one was in for this side. So, we brought this car in, and I wrote up the work order and gave it to like the technicians, the body shop technicians, because we're repairing vehicles. And so they did all the work that I told them to do, but just on the wrong side. Like I had put like left side this, left side that, but it was like the right side the entire time. So we wasted all that labor, all those parts, all the refinishing time, and my boss just came up to me. He's like, "So what happened?" And I'm like, was I fucking high? I don't know, but how could this happen? I honestly, and I was just like, how could this happen? Because I'm very detail oriented, and I'm like, and I just, for like days after that, I was like kicking myself in the head. I'm like, and so we just replaced this guy's complete left side, and it was perfectly fine. But also, it's not completely my fault. I mean, if the guys were really looking at what they were working on...
That's what I was going to say. Why didn't they go, there's nothing wrong with this vehicle?
Yeah.
I mean,
What kind of idiots are in a body shop?
I'm culpable for it. It's my responsibility too. Like, I should have known. But whatever. I mean...
Same.
It is what it is. And fuck, like, my boss would just... He wasn't pissed off. You know that disappointed look they give you? Where it's like, I expected more, but whatever. And you're just like, okay, I'm just going to kill myself now. Like, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
they just
I'll
make
be in the closet crying.
Granny.
What about you, Granny?
This didn't hurt anyone except me. It was extremely embarrassing. I was preparing some documents for court, and I was working for an organization, and I had decided to resign from the organization. And when I was assembling this document, my resignation was on my desk, and I accidentally got the resignation into the court document, and then went into court and distributed it to everyone. And then went and testified. And it wasn't until my testimony, when I opened up the document to look at something, that I saw that my resignation was attached to the document.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Here's my case, and I quit.
That's all you can do.
Santi says...
Just wanted to let the entire court know.
So what did happen then?
Damn.
After that happened?
I died of embarrassment.
So what happened? I died.
Actually, what happened was my supervisor pulled it off of her copy, then collected all the copies, made copies of her copy, and redistributed it.
Just taking like by every means possible, like to save their asses.
Mm-hmm.
Santi says,
And the
I dropped...
supervisor found out 12 to 24 hours too early that you were resigning.
Where do you even say?
Did your resignation have anything to do with the case?
Yeah.
No, it had nothing to do with the case.
No, Your Honor, I had already expected to leave the country by now.
I didn't want to have to lie under oath and perjure myself. Now you've made me do it, so I'm resigning.
Speaking of perjuring yourself, I had an incident that almost, but it actually didn't come up, but it almost came up. I was in a hearing just a week ago, and most judges, when they administer the oath, they ask, will you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And they leave it there. But this judge added, so help you God. And I'm going, there's a good chance I'm going to be testifying in this hearing, and I really don't want to swear to a non-existent entity. What do I do?
Yeah, exactly. So what did you say anything?
Well, what I did was at the lunch break, I said something to my supervisor. I said, is there any way you can get to the judge's JA and ask the judge, not to tack that on? Because I really don't want to swear to that. And they weren't sure that they could get a hold of the judge's assistant. So they said, just when the judge says, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Just say I do before he can get anything else out.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I do.
Like, yeah, I do. Don't even.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's good. Santi says, I dropped oil-based
But
paint.
Granny, you bring up like a really good point. Like, what are people who don't believe in that supposed to say? Like, you can't lie under oath, but how can you take an oath in something that you don't believe in?
Well, the oath
Like,
is technically
well,
invalid.
It's lying. Like, that's
Technically, it's not lying because, I mean, if he had said, so help you pink unicorns, You know, if you swore on pink unicorns that you're going to tell the truth, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't mean anything.
If anything, it does invalidate it. Because it makes it meaningless.
Exactly. Which is why I didn't want to swear to it, because it is meaningless.
Yeah, like you could swear to like the system or the country, but if you're swearing to like something that you don't believe in, how legit really is it? It's like kind of like a technicality in a way, I guess.
Well, that's why most judges have dropped it, and I was really surprised that this judge was still using it.
Okay, so they dropped it. Wow, that's good for them then. So when was that, if you don't mind me asking?
Last week.
Oh,
Just
okay.
happened.
But actually, I ended up not testifying because the hearing was supposed to be on a minor matter. We went from 8:30 in the morning, and at 5:30 in the evening, we still weren't done. The judge was getting really ticked, and so the attorney just decided to stop where he was before he ticked off the judge anymore for taking up too much time.
Probably a good idea.
Yes.
I expected to hear this of like, yeah, I know, like back when I was like in my 30s or 40s. Like, wait, you're only like what, 50 maybe? Not
I'm
even?
59.
Oh, okay. Well, so I was gonna say like in her 40s or whatever, but she's like, okay, so here she is, like, wow. So okay, crazy. But anyways, I totally forgot what I was gonna say because I immediately thought of like my mom passed away at 60 and she did not look as.
I know. I have always looked way younger than I am. It was a serious problem when I was young, but now it's nice.
Right.
What were we even talking about though? Seriously, like I'm asking.
Well, the oath in court, you know, swearing to a deity that you're going to tell the truth. And yeah, it was just last week that I was asked to swear.
Right. And yeah,
I didn't get asked because I didn't end up going to the stand. I was supposed to, but they ended up not bothering with my testimony because
it dragged on like all day and everybody wanted to get out of there, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just trust her. She looks.
What about Amanda and Math Pig? Did they answer? Oh, Amanda did, but Amanda
did. Just let me finish the chat. Right. Santi says, which I've just lost, I dropped oil-based paint, dark blue, on a wooden deck before we had a chance to stay in the wood. Oddly enough, I did something very similar on one of the tall ships. They had this beautiful deck, and I spilt a mix of paint and thinners onto the deck. It did not. They were not happy.
Yeah, you think?
I can imagine.
Santi said, also gave Pamela Anderson a shitty room in the hotel I worked at. She checked out like 5 minutes later. Yandir said, I almost made the boss mad because I almost messed up my hours. That doesn't seem like a major kind of screw-up. Nerdy streaks through the chat screaming, Amanda covers Math Pig's potato in chocolate.
Yeah, I don't know what
Is Math Pig's potato a euphemism?
No. Literally his potato.
Well, yeah. I mean,
eating too good, isn't it?
Math Pig!
Fucking nerdy. You never know what he's gonna say.
Nothing like massive. I've ripped the fucking review or the side mirror off a lorry before on the forklift because everybody, you'll not get that forklift through there, and I was like, you fucking watch, I will. Yeah, I got it through.
hold me beer.
But the lorry didn't have a fucking side mirror at the end of it.
Did you say hold me beer?
Hold me beer. Yeah, I can do that. Right, I got two. Right? I got the only reason I've got two, I mean I've got lots, but I've got two because I've got one that's relatively boring and one that's more fun. But the boring one is a much bigger fuck up. I ran a call center, or I was the tech lead in a call center, which means I ran the call center. There was no bugger else there apart from the callers, and I needed to test one of the scripts. And what we usually do is we pop into the customer table and replace a customer's phone number with our own. Okay, so then the next time the dialer software comes up, it just phones me instead of the customer, whomever, and the staff have no clue it's me that's testing it. Apart from the fact that I accidentally screwed up putting the a clause in when I updated it. So as opposed to updating a customer with my phone number, I updated every customer with my phone number. So I then had an entire call centre of, how many staff do we have in it? About 45 staff. Every single one of them phoning me then. So that was good.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
good
was
job.
in a call center, and I would like tear away every single fucking server like there was there. Like after everybody started calling, that's everybody's phone
Daisy.
number to your phone.
Yeah. And our last backup was 24 hours prior. So that was fun as well, recovering that one. Anyway, I suppose the most fun fuck up, although it didn't do a huge amount of damage. I'm sitting there and I'm driving a forklift truck, and I think I don't need to put the forks down without thinking about it. So I left the forks about halfway up.
Mhm.
Right, but this was an expanding telescopic forklift, so the top of it was also 4 foot higher. And then I'm speeding along this warehouse at about 30 miles an hour, completely forgetting that the roller shutter at the end, well, you can only go through it with the forks down. So I basically toppled the forklift truck backwards.
Yeah, the wheels kept going, but you were staying
Yeah.
still.
That's made me think of a story. I was at work one time driving the work van up onto the ramp, and it's a 4-post so we can get underneath it, to work at it. And the guy's in front of me, and he's like, bringing it on, waving forward, and he's like, left a bit. No, go left a bit more. He drove that fucking van. He directed me off the fucking ramp. The fucking bastard. And we're about 3 foot up in the air with 2 wheels missing off the ramp, trying to lift the whole fucking van back up again before the thing tips. He did not help. He rolled about on the floor and laughed, and then blamed me. He was like, "What did you think? You can't keep going left that much." I was like, "I trusted you."
That is like the best
I
part.
trusted. I was
I
stupid
trusted
and I
you.
was wrong, but I trusted you.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.